Good morning and welcome again to another edition of Summit. Today on the program, we'll be looking at the issue of the Canadian court that tagged the APC and PDP political parties as a terrorist organization. Now, when the Canadian Federal Court declared Nigeria's two largest political parties, the All Progressives Congress, APC, and the People's Democratic Party, PDP, as terrorist organizations, under Canadian law, it wasn't just an immigration decision. It was a political earthquake with consequences that could reverberate far beyond Canada's borders. But of course, the federal government countered or condemned the ruling, calling the decision reckless, unfounded, and an unacceptable interference in the country's internal affairs. That's what we'll be talking about this morning on Summit. You're welcome again. I am Jumoke Michaels. And to discuss this issue with me this morning, I have Mr. Razak, or rather, Comrade Razak Olukoba, a public affairs analyst. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining me on Summit.
It's a pleasure.
All right. So, on this issue, I don't even know really where to start on this discussion, but let's just say, in your opinion, what are key factors that led to the APC and PDP being labeled as terrorist organizations, in your own opinion?
When I look at the conclusions drawn by the Canadian government, it's not their conclusion that led to that. It was what Nigerians made available to them in terms of castigation of each political party, that the political party, APC, is responsible for A, B, C, and D, and PDP is also responsible for this. Because if you don't have such allegations, they can't draw such conclusions. And for me, I don't know the limit of foreign policy issue that will allow a country to be discussing the political party of another country. I've not seen. I've tried to look at it that can we wake up one day and talk about the Republican Party, the Democrat Party. Of course, we can condemn their manifesto, we can condemn their program, but we cannot unilaterally conclude that the party is a terrorist organization as a result of the activities of a member. You can't impose it on the rest of on the whole party, and it is becoming a pattern for the Western world to do such to other countries, particularly Africa. Shortly, you saw what Trump did by saying that criminals in their country should be brought to Nigeria. For what? To serve their time, or just to walk the street as if you are taking them to go and meet their co-criminals. That's the meaning, and it shows clearly that they are not relating with us as equals. But I want to quickly point out that it is a concern to any countries in the world who have relationship, the way you live your life. If you give access to a family member and there's a rumor that that family member is carrying a communicable disease, you have to take it serious. You have to call the attention of the family member. Is it true that so? If it is in the light of that, I think they are right, because Nigerians have many assets. I can't call on that access, but we are one of the countries in the world that has populated Canada. So, and many of the people who come to their country either belong to, it's a major political party in Africa, APC and PDP. So they are either in PDP or APC. Hardly will you see in fraction, other parties are in fractions that are political. So it's either you have support for PDP or APC, even if you are not a member. So that we call for concern, because that's to tell many who feel that our affair is not there, it's their business. But it has to be clearly defined. It has to be guided by the laws and principles of engagement and interaction. This and many other occasions are instances where they didn't apply that principle. So on this one too, that principle is not applied.
But you remember that sometime last year, was it last year or sometime early this year, when Canadian government rejected issuing visas to top military officers who were supposed to go there for whatever.
Yes.
And do you think that there's actually been an undertone to this issue for some time before this ruling?
Yeah, if you look at that now, I cannot also blame them, because even Nigerians have also alleged that our people, the military boys here, are also compromised. So they may not want infection in that kind of area, that if you come to our country and you relate with us, the kind of limitation your army has been going through in terms of, Nigerian army goes to Red and they come out with medal. So it will be curious for them to now say that this institution is ascribed to one of the best in the world, because in Grand War Army, our army is one of the best in the world. So you mean in your own country, you are not performing. So a lot of things can be responsible for it. Is it that the access to arm by the bandits is higher than our own, or our military is compromised? So if that is the case, anywhere our military is going, they will be very, very cautious in relating with them. And I don't think it's also out of that. The only thing is that when it comes to Africa, they think everything goes. And the way we react to issues this year has shown them clearly that anytime we want to say about Africa, you have to be very careful and you must follow the book. I know very well in their own mind that they will have admitted that they have made mistakes, because in the programs of any political party, I have read many manifestos. The Communist Manifesto, I have read Das Capital, I have read the manifesto of the Republican, the Democrats, the Chinese Communist Party, the Cuba, so many. And I've also read through PDP's programs. They don't have a standing program. It changes from time to time. That of APC, particularly the recent one by me, Mr. President, I didn't see anywhere it is encouraged that terrorism is part of their own agenda. I didn't see why, and that is why I support the federal government for trying to reject it, and they don't have to limit it to that. They have to take them up, because before you come out to announce to the world that this is your conclusion about APC and PDP, there must be something responsible for that. So that thing should be investigated, such that it is either going to affect our foreign relationship with Canada, or it's going to assist us in a way, because probably if they release what they have at their disposal to us, we will admit that, okay, of course, there are issues around this area, but that's not the position of the two parties.
Okay, so but when you look at our country, our terrain, in a holistic manner, you find out that two major things that seem to be denting the image of Nigeria presently is the issue of electoral violence, electoral malpractices rather, and violence, the violence in the country.
Very, very correct.
Do you think that this court ruling has anything to do with, or is driven by these issues?
Of course. You know, I said it that activities of some sections of the members of the plan may be the reason why they draw such a conclusion. And in their explanation, it should have reflected that majority of the members of PDP or APC have tendency that can be ascribed to be terrorists. That the way they terrorize each other, that will be clear enough.
Fair.
And that will be clear enough for people to understand, to be fair enough.
Yeah.
Other than saying that PDP and APC are, of course, the war being pursued in Gaza now. There's a party in power. Republican is in power. We can't wake up and say Republican is we can only condemn the foreign policy of America. But we won't say that the Republican is a terrorist organization. But we would definitely say that both Democrats, who were also fueling the war, You know, the whole of Arab, the Middle East, the Israeli war, they have a long history. That it's not my business the fight they are fighting each other. But as a human being, it needs to break our conscience. What Hamas did to the Israeli, we condemn is wrong. Now, in return, what Israel, so we must create that balance. The way you condemn what Hamas did, it is the same way you should condemn what Israelis are doing at the moment. And who supplies Israeli the armament they are using? It is America. But as a Republican Party, they are not responsible for it. It's just a government policy. So the government policy of America on the war going on, we may condemn it. So Canada government can condemn in a resounding manner the attitude of the two political parties during elections. Because for me, I see no reason why there should be violence during elections. I see no reason. And it is time for us to have put that behind us. Because election is not supposed to be a do or die affair. If it is true that the reason why we are going there is to serve the people, you should. And except if you are deceiving, the politicians in Nigeria, majority of them are violent.
Look at even the by-election.
Yeah, they are opposed to violence. So, and I'm happy that they are not bringing INEC into this. Because INEC has done what it's supposed to do. The police has done so. The people responsible, the institution responsible for the two are the politicians, are the political parties. So, Canadian government is close to it, saying that the way you run your affair as politicians in Nigeria is ascribed to be terrorizing. And to that extent, you will say that majority of your members behave like terrorists. If it is said in that light, and that is a signal to Mr. President that he needs to do something about how elections are conducted. We have to hasten it up to ensure that it happens. And one of the things he needs to do is to ensure that INEC has more independence. So that INEC needs to design a law that once you don't win an election, it won't take time before you will answer of it. Prepare the mind of people that if you lose this election, what's your role? Because they don't prepare for loss. That's one. Then two is that all these offices should be made less attractive. The president of Nigeria is like
their salaries have just been increased.
So the president office is a deputy god. It's so easy that nobody will not wish to be a president. Even if you are not a president, you want your son, somebody close, one of your family in your lifetime to be president of Nigeria. Same thing goes for governor, the senator, House of Rep, chairman. But if it is made very, very less attractive, that what you are going to do there is service to the people and is designed in such a manner, nobody will kill anybody because he wants to serve. So if that is not done, you will continue to have this kind of picture. And how do you do it? You see, the more the central government has access to funds, the more it's likely that their priorities will not be the priority of Nigerian people, or there will be a misplaced priority. One of such is designing that office with so much perks of office. But if it is made less attractive by ensuring that the federal government has limited access to resources of the nation, that's where it's coming from. If the state controls their resources in your state, in my own state, no governor will travel abroad with the money that is generated by the tax I'm paying, by resources in my state. There will be control. There will be, they will not be indulging.
Is the model that even the Canadian government,
yes,
that's the model Canadian government practices?
In Canada, the president doesn't have unlimited access to funds, and they don't have control over the state. There's devolution of power. And it is not the business of any country to design a model for you. It is our business to look at the peculiar style that is most befitting for us. And the most befitting style for us is to ensure that the component parts design their parts. All the component parts of Nigeria. They design when they were coming together, when AOZ were coming together, they were under pressure. So they knew that the decision to come together will be a disaster if we lump each other without clear line of demarcation, that Igbo, this is the way you want to live your life. There's nothing wrong in saying that. I mean, Biafra in the Eastern region. There's nothing wrong in it. There's nothing wrong in saying Yoruba, we want to have a Amotekun. There's civilian JTF in the north. And there's nothing wrong to educate your children that if you are going to the north, be careful with religion. No? But if you are coming to the south, it's liberal. And if you are going to the east, it's a Christian region. No? Don't go and say you want to convert anybody to spirit. Don't risk your life. And that's the way modern countries who have this kind of quite have in Nigeria. So that year in, year out, it will not appear as if good governance is not possible in Nigeria or our image can never be cleaned. The reason for our image is the internal crisis we have, and that is the pressure people have here to go and misbehave abroad. So, in conclusion, to come out of this, the president needs to take that word serious. We refuse to tell them that they should use the appropriate language for their concern. The concern they have raised, of course, is a concern that may be genuine, that they must use the appropriate language for it. And so also, as a follow-up too, it now needs to bring his head together that this window of opportunity he has as a president, as someone who understands, because we have to keep bringing it in the mind of the president. If you don't bring it in the mind of the president, there's so much the president is responsible for that it's likelihood that he will major in minor for the 4 or 8 years as the case may be. If you don't bring it, he will major in minor because the moment, the euphoria of the moment is what Nigerian president will always respond to. As you say today, respond to it. 3 weeks is gone. Medical officials are striking tomorrow. Then they keep 42 people in somewhere. Then Canadian government says something. Then our currency is battered. So you'll be responding to the momentary issues until that age. And that's been the pattern for the previous president. So except if you are assertive and make sure that the president's attention is drawn to what he needs to do.
Part-time.
Yes.
All right, so in all of this, what human rights concerns arise from labeling political parties as terrorist organizations? Do you see any human rights infringement in all of this?
Definitely. Because all the people who were placed on travel ban, they don't know the implication. It's been on their record and it's going to be there forever. Once your name is punched into the computer, and if the person takes time to read your profile, it's always be there. And that's the case with this one too. Anywhere Nigerian goes today now, henceforth, Canada is not a country that his opinion doesn't matter in the world. Opinion of Canada matters in the world. It matters in the West, in the East. It matters anywhere in the world. And it's not emotional concern that they have raised. It is an issue that has some substance. The wrong word that is being used that is a concern. So anywhere we go henceforth, that may add to the trauma of Nigerians. Wherever we
because there's already trauma.
Yeah, there's already
the way they act towards Nigerians.
It's going to add to our trauma. And I pity our brothers and sisters, our children that be having things to do in Canada too at the moment. That's also going to be a big trauma to them. You see, all this kind of attachment to our name is the reason why our popularity in the world keeps diminishing. We wanted to apply for amnesty too, as a member of September Nation Odua group in the West. But they caution us, Nigerian militants caution us, the one we know among them, say, no, amnesty is a stigma. It means you are doing something in your country and you are pardoned. So if you carry your passport anywhere in the world, the stigma of amnesty will be there. So we have to quickly withdraw that. We didn't commit any crime. Why would we be giving amnesty? So, and that's the case with that one too. Even if it is the addressed, it will still be there. And that's why it is not going to stop at the point of strongly condemning. No, that's not it. Don't strongly condemn only you. There must be a follow-up. And you see, when some of these things happen, Nigeria will not pay attention to it. When consequence now begins, you will not be able to trace it to what has happened. And you see, when a nation has challenges all over the world. You can't hold anybody responsible for it. We're all responsible. Me that shows desperation in the context of my election. I'm part of the reason why we have been ascribed to this. So it's all of us. So the president need to give all the agencies a marching order that the coming election must be fair, continue to be fair, continue to have improvement. See, our engagement with INEC shows clearly that the INEC is doing this well. Our ethic at the political class is no longer INEC. In fact, it's not even the policemen. It's the perpetrator at the political class. Once election, and the same tool you condemn to have lost an election and say INEC is it's not an. It's the same tool.
It in the next
you go and use to win elections somewhere and you keep quiet. When your concern is universal, just like what Jana says that this thing we have to do something about it too. You see, the political class must adopt that pattern that, of course, we have 10 governors as SYZ party, or we are the ruling party. But there's need to do something about all the stakeholders that are involved in the election.
All right, so it's only the federal government that has responded to this
it's a foreign
yes, All right, so but for the human rights organizations, is there anything they can also do to lend their voice to this matter?
You see, we wanted to respond, but when we weigh it, we felt that the most, because what will you be rejecting? Rejecting that there's no violence in elections. What we have only encouraged the high commissions in Nigeria, what we have written to them to address is that you should use your appropriate forward. Your concern you have raised is correct. The election is like war in Nigeria. And the major stakeholder in the Nigeria election is PDP and APC. Of course, we agree with you on that. But use the right word. Your policy of a country, we can't hold your political party responsible for it. It's not your political party that's responsible. It's the election that is tagged Nigeria or dragging Nigeria to becoming a country of terrorism, where you terrorize each other. You can't. So that language, it will make more sense to people. You have not seen a reply, but it makes sense to people we have written to that. Okay, no, that's the appropriate line, because you can't blame a driver when the car is bad. It's the vehicle that is bad. You must repair your vehicle. So when what the nation stands for is bad, the appropriate institution should be held responsible. So the appropriate institution that should be held in this instance are actually the political class. The political class should put their house together. They are the one that will plot me against you. The Igbo said this. They are the one weaponizing all short of you. I've been living together for long. I've been doing business with the Igbo for long. I've been doing business with you for Hausas for long. But they are the people that will tacitly go and encourage the Igbo to say wrong thing about Yoruba people. Then they weaponize it. They are the people that will tacitly encourage Yoruba man to say something. They weaponize it. What you have been saying in passing before, that meant nothing, now became something. Igbo man has been saying this, or Yoruba after man has been saying all sorts of. They have been talking about Aruga, Leso, but the political class now decide to turn it to a weapon. It's in the banking industry. People do business with Hausa people and Yoruba people, and they make their money. Everybody laughs at that. The moment I engage political class as an individual, I became child on things I will see the political class of other clients says about me, about what my people say about. But when I'm in business environment with all these other people, my children is in their house, and we in each other's house. I will go back home and feel safe and comfortable. But with the moment it becomes the political issues like this, it becomes a big. So it's as a result of all this that gives the Canadian government a concern that, my God, this is not how political issues should be run in any country.
All right. So on this entire judgment, how do you think it fits into the broader context of global counterterrorism efforts? Do you still think other countries, counterterrorism will still want to be part of fighting it in Nigeria?
Yes, because Nigeria is in the limelight. ISWAP and Boko Haram are the fourth and the fifth most deadliest group in the world, if you look at the rating. ISIS, Al-Qaeda, Taliban, all these are rated organizations that are deadly. So with this concern that is being raised now, it's looking bad for Nigeria.
It's looking bad.
It's looking bad for Nigeria, yes. And that is all of us should be bothered. We should be bothered. You see, it is only in Nigeria that we don't raise concerns about other countries of the world that have taken our own country. It's the only way I don't raise it. The war in Ukraine and between Ukraine and Russia in Gaza, we should raise a concern at how it's being handled. We should raise a concern because all this has spiral effect on Africa and Nigeria. If you read Chris Brown, go and read Chris Brown on the shape of things to come, you will admit that we are not playing our role as a country and as a continent. Also assigning responsibility or design responsibility for other continents of the world. They are only the one talking about us. And there are issues we have to with them too. We are not saying anything about it. So now they have said their own about us. So it's not their fault that we are not raising issues. But once that we have raised it, now the rest of us will take it serious. Which then means that in the when security councils will be meeting, the kind of access, the kind of facility, the kind of opportunity will be denied us. For instance, if you look at certain countries in the world, they may not be part of Security Council either at observers level for a long time. Syria, Libya, all those countries may not be in that list.
Yeah.
And what qualifies you is first the way you handle your internal affairs, security affairs in your own country. So if you are mismanaging your internal security, you can't be talking about global security. You can't be on the table when I discuss global. So it's going to affect our rating in terms of one of the safest countries. Because one of the safest countries who are actually discussing global issues. Security Council, that's what qualified it. It's not only the type of bombs you can produce. You know that it's also part of your defense mechanism. And if you read extensively what is called balance of power, if you read balance of power to a deeper extent, you understand why certain countries must be kept where they are, why they want to keep Iran where they are by force, why they felt that Iraq once issue must be suppressed and the leadership must be taken out. If you read balance of power to some extent, you get that. That's why certain policies and actions in the world, you find it difficult to condemn the government in doing it. When there's a protest in America, the way they suppress it because of certain things, they have seen that no individual must accept such a power to become an association to disturb the activities of the government. They will suppress it. And that's the kind of warning we told NSAS to that. See, there's what is called balance of power. Once an individual organization does certain things in the name of protest, you have to quickly run away. Burning a police station, killing police officer. There's no way you take the matter to. You won't win. When Obasanjo just sacked Odi, we took him up. But the question is, why did the village allow policemen to be killed? Why did you allow military officers to be killed in your state? There's no government who will close its eyes to short it. So, in that instance too, under the theory of balance of power too now, Nigeria is going to be singled out now.
But do you see this spiraling to other countries of the world against Nigeria?
There are countries in the world that say certain things. 50-50, they may not take it. I mean, some country might be divided by it. But Canada is a country that is reckoned with all over the world. So if it is Gabon that says such a thing about us, we say, Gabon, okay,
Gabon.
no problem, we'll not give you good visa again. You are playing about our house. So, all it is one Indian country in Europe that says there's one country. But Canada is the second largest country in the world in terms of land mass.
All right.
After Russia.
Okay, so finally, Barrister Femi Falana said he threw up an open challenge to the political parties to prove they are not terrorist organizations instead of abusing this judge.
That's exactly what I've said.
Do you agree?
That's exactly what I've said.
Okay.
That instead of saying that they strongly condemn, no. They have to take the Canadian government about, okay, the concern raised about us, but you must use the appropriate language for us. That all these are correct issues. But the president needs to do something about it. The political party needs to do something about it to ensure that anything that will be defined as terrorism, because terrorizing. When I just want to read my manifesto on program I have for the party, for my people, and the next thing is that you are suppressing me and I can't even come to the venue.
I can't even go out to vote.
That is terrorizing. If you see major killings in this country, it's not mostly from, I want to pick your phone. You don't want to give me your phone as an armed robber. It's not that's not the issue. There are killings during political activities. Majority of it, Bola Ige. And it goes on and on and on and on like that. Even during the military era. Yeah. So there are political killings. So the Canadian government, maybe they really needs to be harder on us.
Harder?
For what they have said. So that by the time they do that, you will be compelled to, of course, take this concern serious. Because the concern. All right. Nobody will not pray for your family member if he says he wants to go to into politics. You will be praying for him. What do you want to do? And that's the reason why elite kept saying that it's not a business that is meant for them. It's the qualification that you must have to become a politician in Nigeria. After getting a clear knowledge of what to do when you get there, you must also have the capacity to be able to say that anybody that says he wants to stop me, by any means I must get there. You must have that department also.
All right.
So
thank you.
These are issues that...
So it's not, difficult. In conclusion, this issue is not one that should be swept under the carpet.
No.
It's something that should be handled diplomatically and wisely.
Yes.
To redeem the image of the country. We need to redeem the image of the country. Because I know how it feels to travel out and then once they see that is a green passport you hold, it's like, the countenance of the people change, their attitude, the body language changes. So our leaders need to redeem the image of Nigeria. Exactly.
And the trauma will definitely increase with this.
Yes. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts on this issue.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. So we've been talking with Mr. Razak Olukoba. Thank you again. All right, so we'll move on to the last segment of the program today, which is showcasing some of the developmental strides of the administration of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu in Lagos State. So please enjoy that package, and then we'll come again next time on Summit. I am Jumoke Michaels. Enjoy the rest of your day.